Hey everyone. So it's a rainy, dreary, disgusting day in the Northeast, which doesn't make it very appealing to go outside. But it's the perfect day for baking, especially when you're baking a breakfast treat. So today I'm going to be making my Aunt Jerry's sour cream cinnamon sugar coffee cake, a recipe that's been in my family for generations. And to start, I have already combined most of the dry ingredients in this bowl, and that would be 2.5 cups of flour, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, and 3 teaspoons of baking powder. Next, I'm going to put a cup of sugar, which is right here. And then I'm going to put some melted butter. The recipe calls for 2 sticks, but I used 1.5 sticks because 2 sticks was making me cringe. And I'm hoping that that doesn't do anything to the recipe, but I'll let you know. 3 eggs. A cup of sour cream, which ends up being 8 ounces, like an 8-ounce container. That I'm just going to scoop in there. Okay, let's sip it out. Oh, and also 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I don't know if I said that. That I just guesstimated when I mixed it in with the dry ingredients. And then I'm going to do a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Okay, and I believe, consulting the recipe, that is everything. Oh, and then also for the filling, I'm going to be putting filling in the center and then also on the top. And that is 1/4 cup of sugar and 2 teaspoons of cinnamon that's mixed together. So now I'm just going to stir this all together. You could use an electric mixer, but since the butter is melted, it's relatively easy to combine. So I'm just using a spatula. You want to mix it so that it forms a cake-like consistency with the batter. Make sure that everything is creamed together well. I'm never quite sure when it says to mix things until they're just combined exactly what that means, but I'm guessing that you want to try with this recipe to get as many of the lumps out as you can. It doesn't say anything about combining, so okay, so that's mixed pretty well. Now I'm going to get my bundt pan, which I've already greased. I've greased it with a little bit of butter. And I'm going to pour half of the cake batter into the bundt pan. And I'm going to smooth that around as best as I can. Trying not to get stuff on the sides, but it does happen. It'll be covered though by the rest of the batter. Okay, so you smooth that down. Try and make it as even as possible. Okay. And now with a small spoon, I am going to put half of this cinnamon sugar mixture onto the cake. So I'm just sprinkling that around. The rest of it is going to go on the top of the cake. Yum. Cinnamon and sugar in the morning. It doesn't get much better. Okay. Now I'm going to put the rest of this batter. And I love this little spatula that I'm using, which is actually a scooper and a spatula from Pampered Chef. It makes it a lot easier to get the batter into a bowl because you can lift it up and stir at the same time. This batter is a little sticky, so it takes a little bit of effort to get it into the pan in a way that looks pretty. But we're trying. Looks a little thicker over here, so I'm gonna smooth it down. Okay, now I'm going to put the remainder, hands are okay. I'm going to sprinkle the remainder of the cinnamon and sugar over the top of the cake, coating it liberally. This is going to get all warm and toasty and kind of crystallized almost, which gives the cake a nice sweetness, and it also looks pretty. Okay, I'm going to clean up as much of the cake dish as possible, but since I won't be serving it in the cake dish, in the bundt pan, I don't think anyone will notice that it wasn't perfect. Okay, now I'm going to put it into the oven at 350 for 45 minutes. Although I will check it with a toothpick at 45 minutes to make sure that it's fully cooked. I will put pictures of the finished product on my Made by Michelle blog so you can see it along with this recipe. And that's it. Bye.